What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Davi, and this is your sports show for Thursday, April 21st, 2022. This is all brought to you by Rock & Sons Tire and Auto, East End of Adams and LeGrand. If you need anything for your vehicle, if you need the radiator flushed, if you need tires, if you need the oil change, anything, go see JB and the boys, Rock & Sons Tire and Auto, East End of Adams and LeGrand. I'm not going to talk hardly at all today. The multis are going on up at EOU. TJ Davis, at the time that I left, had won the first two events, the 100-meter dash and the long jump. He's going to run away with this most likely and be the CCC champion. EOU Softball plays tomorrow, so get out there and support these ladies. They're playing the number 3 team in the country. They're sitting at third in the CCC. They're 7 wins away from the school record. So I'm featuring their seniors. It's senior week. It's been awesome. And I've loved talking to each and every one of them. My first guest today, EOU senior softball player, Rhyanne Oates. Here it is. It's Rhyanne, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
What's your nickname? Everybody's got a nickname. I know most of them. I don't know yours.
I just go by Rye mostly.
That's what I thought.
Or Oates or Lil Oat sometimes if it's Amanda.
Lil O?
Yeah.
Lil O? If it's Biggie?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like, people used to call me that too. I mean, I'm large. I'm 6'5", and I used to get called that. Lil O. That's an interesting one.
She coined that one. So.
What's your favorite one? Just Rye.
Probably just Rye. Yeah, it's easy because people sometimes can't pronounce my name when they read it, so I just tell everybody. I know it's not really that hard, but
it's clearly Ryan. I mean,
yeah, I get every pronunciation that you could even think of.
Okay, so you're a senior, academically a senior too, obviously.
Yes.
So why EOU? What got you here?
It's really close to home because I'm from Pilot Rock. And a lot of it was because I kind of just started to panic when everything started to hit the fan and COVID was going on. And when I came on my visit, I had played with Abby Giles at Walla Walla, and she was already here. And I knew Amanda had played at Walla Walla. And when I came on my visit, I just really liked it. And I literally signed the day that I came on my visit because I was just like, yep, this is it for me.
What's your favorite thing outside of softball? What's your favorite thing about Eastern Oregon? Like, what do you like about LeGrand or the area?
I've kind of been around here my whole life, so I would say about LeGrand specifically, I just like how pretty the scenery is and like how there's a lot of stuff to do. Like you can go up to Morgan, you can go up to Alawa, you can just go in the woods. It's just kind of pretty all around. So minus the pass, everything else scenery wise is cool.
Yeah, the passes suck. Especially Cabbage. I mean, it's terrible in the wintertime, as you probably know. I mean,
we used to travel up in school buses all the time for high school ball, so that was
same here.
Yeah.
Same here. I mean, I grew up here. We used to have to go to Central Oregon. We were in the old IMC with Bend, Mountain View, Redmond, Crook County, and then Pendleton and Hermiston. So every league game we played was over that nasty pass, and yeah, it was horrible. Softball wise, what's, like, in your eyes, what's the team goals for the rest of the season? I mean, this is your senior year, and what's your personal goals for the rest of the season?
For the team, I just want to see us go really far in the tournament because, like, already from last year, there's just so many things that are different, and I feel like we all just kind of like have this unique bond, and I just don't want it to end because I want to stay with them as long as I can because I'm just so attached to everybody. And I mean, my personal goal, honestly, I haven't been performing like I'd like to be performing, but the best I can be is just be a great teammate to my friends and everybody that's on the team and just be their best hype man and just do what I can, from whatever position I'm playing.
Absolutely.
That's what I would say.
This team, hang on, we'll give it a second. Something's interfering. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think it's my end because it never happens. So there's something going on, but we'll just wait because it cut off last time. Here we go. We're good. You talk about the tournament, and I'm hoping you're talking about the national tournament.
Yeah, I'm talking about nationals.
So what we have to do to get there is we either have to win the CCC or we have to win the tournament, or OIT has to win the CCC and us get second place in the tournament, and then we'll get the automatic bid because we cannot leave it up to the hands of the voter. I mean, last year C of I barely got in, and they were the
Yeah.
38th choice. And they
Yeah.
were the number 3 team in the country at the end of the year. So, like, the CCC don't get a lot of love on the national level. So we got to win, and I think we can. I mean, this team.
Yeah.
You talked about the difference between last year and this year, the energy, the passion, just the joy for the game. Talk about that, the difference. Like the rally hats, the stuff that's going on, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, we're all just like, in the best way possible, we're all just a bunch of crackheads in the dugout. We're all chugging C4 Celsius. We got crazy hats on. We've like literally made it a competition to see like who can get the craziest stuff going, like who can be the fastest to the fence and back, who can use the rally stick to get the crowd hyped. Like, it's just more people are starting to realize, I think, that teams can doubt us and we're not doubting ourselves this year. And I think that's the main difference, is that like we're showing up and we're shocking people. And that's what's really fun about it, is to just like shove it in people's faces, like, hey, we are good and we will come and beat you.
Most definitely. And the crazy thing is just the like it's almost like this team did like a 180 from last year. And like you said, a lot of it has to do with just the energy in the dugout and the energy of the players. I mean, baseball and softball, they're contagious. Like hits are contagious, errors are contagious, and once you build that momentum, which this team has right now, it becomes really fun.
Yeah, it is really fun. It's fun to just even like be there. Like, I mean, just crazy stuff keeps happening. Like, people are just like hitting home runs when like my roommate Oz, she just hit a home run on her second at bat that she had back from surgery. Just jacked one, and it was the craziest thing of all time. And like everybody just went bonkers, and it's
That
just
was at home, right? Yeah, I saw.
yeah.
I was there for that.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then Allie hit a home run right after that. Just like, I feel like people are just starting to realize that like anything's possible for this team. And it literally comes down to us just believing that we're good and that we can beat the crap out of teams.
Well, just so you know, I bought in a long time ago.
Yeah.
I did. I mean,
appreciate that.
I've been on the bandwagon. I've been talking about this team since the beginning of the year. Since the first time I saw you guys, I'm like, oh, this team could be really good. Like if everything falls into place, like they're mechanically sound. There's a lot of energy. They have a good group of senior leaders. Speaking of that, this weekend is senior day. When when Nicole and Angie hand you that picture, what's going to be going through your head?
I'm just gonna be crying pretty much. I'm a big crier, especially because it just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like I've been playing softball for 4 years. It doesn't feel like my degree is done, basically. Like, I've always like cried for other people and like gotten super attached to the seniors that I had, but now I'm like leaving my people and I'm just like, I don't even know I don't know. It's just like crazy to me to think about, and I don't want to think about it. I'm just like trying to not think about any of that stuff because I just know I'm gonna be a mess.
Yeah, well, that's the best thing you can do, is just kind of not think about it.
Yeah.
It's a huge weekend. It's athlete for athlete. It's OIT, the number 2 team in the country, at home.
I know, they don't wanna
It's
be on
going to
our
be the
field for
biggest
that.
crowd.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. I
I'm
hope that
super
I
excited
hope that
for it.
people turn up and get them all rattled on our field because it's gonna be a good game, I think.
We can beat them.
Oh, 100%. They're
No doubt.
beatable. They just, they don't know that we're coming for them yet. So
Yeah, well, we have
that's
to.
gonna be yeah, we're trying not to think about the pressure part. We're just trying to think about, like, playing our game and just, like, handing them a loss. That would be so fun, especially on just the weekend that you would want it to happen on.
The only weekend you'd want it to happen on if you could pick
Yeah.
it. So let's talk about softball for you. Like, how'd you get into it? Like, what started softball for Rhyanne Oates?
Um, Growing up, T-ball and stuff was always, like, really big in my community, and, like, baseball and softball. When I was in, I wanna say, like, 3rd grade or something, I was really young. Our softball team in Pilot Rock had a really good catcher, and I remember this one time they brought all the softball girls down to the elementary school, and they were, like, signing autographs and, like, giving us advice and stuff because we were just like, "These guys are legends because they had been to the state championship, they won it, it was so cool, and she told me, the catcher, because I was a little catcher at the time, she told me, like, "You're gonna go far, like, you're a little," she called me a little stud muffin, and my life was just, like, changed. And then it was cool actually because she was my catching coach when I got to high school. And then we went
Oh,
on to championships and we went on to do all that stuff. So I think from there, like, she just inspired me because she was just so good at softball. And all my friends did it. And it was just something that my community really came out and supported people when they were doing it. So, I mean, it just made it really fun. It was my favorite sport of all the
what
volleyball
else
and
did you play?
basketball. Volleyball and basketball.
Oh, you're all around.
Yeah, you can't really not play all 3 sports at Pilot Rock or we won't have teams. So,
Right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, but
My youngest daughter is a catcher. You caught in high school, but you didn't catch in college, or
no, I kinda got intimidated when I got to college. I was kinda always one of those kids that's like, "Oh, what if I'm, like, the worst player?" Or I just kinda was more comfortable in the outfield. I did outfield my freshman year, half and half, and then our catcher my freshman year was a senior in high school, so when she graduated, I became the catcher. And I mean, it was cool and it was fun and everything, but I've always preferred kinda the outfield, just chasing
you,
balls down, making
you're
long throws.
you're too fast to be a catcher, anyways. For your
Yeah,
speed,
yeah,
like I mean, you don't want to lose somebody's speed behind the plate because your speed doesn't come into play on the field per se.
yeah,
It would still on the bases, but you're like that's why we're slowly trying to figure out a different position for my daughter because she's the fastest kid on her team, and it's like you could be playing in the outfield, running, using your speed to an advantage on defense.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Um,
just fun too, less pressure.
yeah, catching is tough,
Yeah,
tough.
it is,
The
and I was
toughest
just so
position on the field.
intimidated. Yeah, I was like, "I don't think I can do it in college," so, I mean, I just didn't.
So after college,
Mhm,
this is it. This is your senior year. What's
mhm.
next?
I'm gonna start the master's program through Eastern. I'm gonna move to Ellensburg. My boyfriend's finishing up his baseball career at Central Washington. And so I'm gonna go over there, probably transfer to the Dutch Bros over there, and then hang out for a little bit and probably do some traveling, do some chilling out. Not having such a crazy schedule will be kind of something I have to figure out. I'm gonna be like, what? I don't have to go to weights at 5 a.m. Like, what is this? Or, you
It's
know,
gonna be nice.
yeah, it's gonna be a weird adjustment, but I mean, I feel like I'll be up here visiting a lot because like I'm basically the only my like core friends that are here, they'll still be here. So I mean, it'll be sad, but I can just come visit them because I'll be in the same spot pretty much. So
Your boyfriend plays baseball at Central Washington. Is
yeah.
he from Pilot Rock too?
No, he's from Ephrata,
Oh,
Washington.
okay.
It's like over
And
by Moses Lake. So
what? So you'll get to watch one whole year of his career.
yeah, if he takes his COVID year, he's not sure yet, but I mean, he might. They had a good year, they had a bad year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
I love baseball, but I'd much rather watch softball
I know,
myself.
it's so hard to watch. I went up to a game when
Oh,
they played at, Caldwell, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know how moms sit through this cold, how they sit through this, like, 3-hour-long game," and then they had another one, I was like, "Oh, I don't think I can do it." But,
speaking of cold, that last your guys' last home games. Whoo!
yeah, if we didn't have parkas, I probably would not be playing still.
It was freezing out there.
That's one thing that I'm looking forward to after I'm done is to, like, not have to be outside in February if I
Right.
don't wanna be outside. Because that's just one thing about this sport that I wish I could change or, like, if I would change anything, I would just put this school in, like, Arizona or like somewhere where it's not snowing in April. Like,
Yeah.
just ridiculous. But fingers crossed this weekend is like mild and it just doesn't, as long as it doesn't snow, I'll be just ecstatic.
That's why I went to California to play baseball straight out of high school. My first 2 years, I was like, I gotta get out of this. I don't
It's
want to play
miserable.
baseball in the wintertime in the snow, and then if it's snowing or raining, having to play inside. I don't like playing baseball inside. It's not supposed to be played inside.
No, your bats don't work, your hands don't work.
Nothing. It's
No,
horrible.
nothing.
All right. Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live 100 more years with a lot of regrets?
Die in 20 years with no regrets.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
if I could do like 40 years, then I would. I want to at least see like my grandkids like graduate high school.
You don't even have kids yet.
I know, but by then I probably might. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, you would think, I mean, you'd be an old lady having kids.
I know. Off into the distance a ways, it'll be something.
Pool or beach? Pool or beach?
Beach.
Me too. I'm
Not a huge pool person.
I love the
Also
ocean.
not a huge swimmer. I'm not good at swimming. I have asthma, so.
Not a swimming thing, huh?
But I do like the ocean. I do like the ocean.
Do you have your phone?
Yes.
Okay. Pick it up.
Okay.
What's the last song you listened to on your playlist?
The last song I listened to was Ivy by Frank Ocean.
Oh, that's a good song.
It is.
Good song.
I was driving home.
Nice. Okay, so do you do pineapple on pizza?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi?
I could eat it every day. Yeah, love it.
I think it's a generational thing. Like my generation, if you asked people what their favorite food was, like I don't think anybody would say sushi. Like,
I know. Well, and it's just like growing up in such a small town where like we didn't even have like we only had a diner for like half my childhood and then it shut down and whatever. It's just like I was never exposed to like anything. Like there's even like popular like chain restaurants that I haven't even seen ever. Like I saw Chick-fil-A for the first time when I got to college. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever." So like just stuff like that I didn't ever like try or whatever. Just like I'm like, I love this because I've just never been exposed to it, and it just surprises you.
That's awesome. All right, last question, and I'm going to get you out of here. I asked this to everybody. I'm a senior in high school. I'm a softball player.
Okay.
Coach Christian sits me down in front of you and says, "Rhyanne, recruit Davi to come play softball at EOU." What are you going to tell me?
I'm going to tell him that it's basically, for me, the best way I can describe it to get somebody to come here is like, you always hear about JUCOs, and like I came from a JUCO. It was one of the best times of my life. Met some of the best people. I'm still going to be close with them when I'm like 40. And this school basically reminds me of just a bigger JUCO when you're older and you make better choices. You're just in so tight with your people. The community is just there for you to support you. Your teachers are there to support you. Everybody's just like one big happy family in this place. And it's just, that's what I would say to get somebody to come here. Awesome. And I mean, because of like side A and stuff, because I really like side A.
Side A.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're just, I don't know, just all the cool stuff we do. And we have a cool, just like athletics program as a whole. Everybody's cool, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what I would say to get somebody to come here.
Giving side A the free plug on my show, huh?
Yeah. Well, and like Marketplace and the Tide Place and Golden Crown and Mamacitas.
Eastern Oregon. She's EOU softball senior Rhyanne Oates. I'm Davi. Rhyanne, I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rhyanne. That was awesome. Appreciate it. Let's just jump right into the next one. EOU senior softball player, Shelby Starr. Shelby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. So you're a 4-year girl here at EOU.
I am.
Well,
yeah.
Should I say young lady? I mean, not a girl. Did you play basketball here too?
I did for my first 2 years. Yes.
Did you? So you played with like Jane and all them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So Who else would? I mean, pretty much all the upperclassmen were on that team too. That are up.
Maddie Cruz, Andy, Maya Ayudias.
Oh shit, that was her senior year. You played Maya's senior year.
I did, yeah.
Oh wow. So did you play softball and basketball those 2 years?
I did, yes, but it was more basketball for the first 2 years. I didn't really do a whole lot of softball until the season was over. And then that's like why I ultimately decided not to play basketball anymore, was because I was missing so much softball season. It was a bad, or it was like a sad decision, I would say. I was really sad for a while, but I'm glad I just stuck to softball.
What's your favorite?
Softball.
Really?
Yeah.
I love watching softball. I'm a
Yeah.
baseball dude. I played college baseball, but when it comes to like enjoyment watching, softball's so much funner to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Baseball's so slow and just
I love watching both, but softball is more fun, I would say.
way funner. So I'll ask you the same question I ask everybody. How'd you end up at EOU?
My high school softball coach actually played here under Angie, and so she kind of got me in. But yeah, they also offered me 2 sports, and it was like a small community. It wasn't super far from home, so I just thought it was a good fit to come here. I love it.
What year did your high school coach play under Angie?
I want
Do
to
you remember?
say 2002.
So after Nicole was already gone.
Yeah, they'd missed each other by a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nicole and I were just talking, and there's comparisons of this year's team to the '99 team, which is the team that got 4th in the nation, won 41 games. I mean, we're only 7 wins away from 41. I mean, this season's been super special.
Awesome.
Give me a synopsis of this season so far in your eyes. Like, how's it felt? What's it been like?
Well, I think coming in as a senior, like that mindset's just totally different. It's kind of like this is my last time to play college softball, and I know me and my friends that are also seniors are kind of just like, this is the last year we can do something, and like let's just ball out kind of thing. And I think like having 8 seniors that are on that same page, it just like it's been way different. We work harder. We're just like more intent with everything that we do. We're pushing each other harder, and we've had these last like 2 years with each other, and we know how like each other work, and we're just like playing at our full potential, I would say. And like it helps that we have a bunch of talent in these younger grades that are like making an impact, like Hannah, and she's been doing great in catching, and Biggie's been doing great in the circle, and I just think that everyone's on the same page. Whereas like last year, we're all just kind of like, we don't really care what happens. This year, we want to win conference. We want to make it to nationals. We want to make a statement. So I think that would be the biggest thing. Just our mindsets are totally different.
Yeah, the difference between last year's team and this year's team is astronomical.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is, because there's not really a lot of new pieces.
Yeah.
But there's just a different mentality. It's completely different.
I agree for sure.
The energy level, just you to have a really good team, and a few seniors are a part of this. You have to have everybody bought in, right? Like even the people that aren't playing every day, and it's very apparent when you go to a game that everybody's bought in.
I'd also say like our energy in the dugout is just so much better, and that really does help us win these games. So it's a full team effort, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit more about you. How'd you get involved in softball?
I was playing AAU basketball. I grew up playing AAU basketball, and one of my teammates' moms, she was actually like, "Hey, like you should try out for softball." And I was like, "No, softball's not really my thing, And me and my mom, I was like 8 years old, sat down and made a pros and cons list, and I just kind of was like, "I'll do it just for fun," And I actually played with Olivia Zufelt. She's on our team since I was 10, 9. So we played each other like from the beginning. And then like coming to play with each other in college is just awesome. But I would just say like my friends from basketball kind of like helped me play softball. My parents were like, "Hey, like you'd be really good at this. I think you should try it out." And my brother played baseball growing up, so it's just kind of like I just made the decision where I was like, "Okay, like I'll try it," and then I loved it. I've always loved it,
So you're a baseball fan too?
I love baseball.
Who's your favorite player?
Probably Kyle Singer.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I don't know like specifics or anything, but I just remember like always going to the M's games and be like, I really like Kyle Singer.
He retired.
I know.
Yeah, he retired. So like for you, when you came to EOU to play softball and you were doing basketball at the same time, that has to be a challenge. I know a couple multi-sport athletes like Kyle Knutson plays baseball and wrestles, which wrestling takes precedence because it's the winter term. Do you feel like that kind of like put you behind softball wise or?
I would say yes. But for basketball, you just run so much. You're always in great shape. And I think coming from basketball to softball, I was in better shape than I would have been if I just played softball. The transition wasn't like super hard for me, but I just like I felt like I was just missing out on too much softball. I mean, basketball's awesome. I love the sport and I love the team and I loved Angie, but I just like my heart was like wanting to play softball. I think in regards to like being too much, that wasn't the case. It's like when you're 10, 12, 14 years old and you're going from like club to club practice. That's how it felt like. It wasn't like too much. My classes weren't super hard, so that was another factor. But no, it wasn't like overbearing at all. It was just like my heart wasn't really in basketball. It was more in softball.
Gotcha. That happens a lot at the collegiate level. Even the single sport athletes, because it goes from being like a sport to a job. I mean,
Yeah,
essentially, I mean, college athletics are a job. You're committed to going to meetings and to lifting weights and to going to practice and to it's crazy the amount of time and effort it takes to be a collegiate athlete, even at the NAIA level. Some people say, oh, it's only NAIA. Well, it's really no different when it comes to the amount of time that you have to put in to be an athlete at that level that competes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So senior day, this Saturday, you're going to get that picture. Yeah. What's that going to feel like?
I think it'll be sad for sure. I'm not a very emotional person, so I probably won't cry. But inside, like I'd be feeling pretty sad. But I'm also gonna be in LeGrand next year for sure because I'm getting my master's. So it's not like I won't be here. I obviously won't be playing softball or anything, but I think that's like kind of different between me and like some of the other girls. They're out. They're not coming back, and I don't know. I think it's sad, but it's like time for me to grow up and start my life in the real world, So just like it's sad, but it's like kind of that next step, and I just kind of look at it that way, more positive mindset than it just being like, oh, it's over. What am I going to do now? But then it's like, well, look at the things I can do. I'm going to actually find out like what I like to do outside of sports. So that I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah. For the first time since you were a little kid.
Yeah.
You're going to get to find out like, oh, maybe I have a different hobby. Maybe I like going out in the woods and picking flowers or, what I mean?
Whatever it may be.
Yeah. It's a big world. What are you going to school for?
I'm going for elementary education.
So you're going to be a teacher?
Yeah.
Where are you going to student teach next year? Do you know?
I actually just got an email before this and they are looking at placing me at the middle school.
Oh, great.
And I was like, oh, like the middle school. But I don't know.
Middle schoolers stink, dude.
But, yeah. I think it might be because from my understanding, it's a K through, or it's a 6 through 8 at the middle school. And so I'd be in the 6th grade class, but I just never thought I'd be in a middle school. So that's a lot to think about.
Because you're elementary education, but technically 6th grade is still elementary.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, I coached middle school football and baseball for numerous years.
Oh, yeah.
They stink.
Yeah, me too. I remember when I was
yeah, right. It's just I have a middle schooler right now. My youngest daughter is an 8th grader, and it's just that, it's that time.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure things out. So you're gonna take your master's in in teaching here.
Yeah.
Why LeGrand? Like, do you like LeGrand? What's your favorite part about it?
Well, I haven't really got to explore outside of like the university, but I just like that it's like the community is so close, and like I've gotten a lot of support from the community members in my athletics. But I think for me staying here, it's because the education department at Eastern Oregon is so good. And I don't want to just like get my bachelor's and then go to some other school when I already have like all these like ties into the master's program
Absolutely.
here. So I just think it was like the smartest decision for me.
Absolutely. You said you have a job. Where do you work?
I work at Dutch Bros with
Oh,
Brad.
you do? You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Super fun.
I don't go there very often because the only time I go there is to get family members coffee because I don't drink coffee. So,
So you should come by.
we did. How long have you worked there?
Not very long, like probably 5 months.
Oh, okay. Because we did. I used to host or I used to produce the Johnny Ball Game show, and we did a show there one time at Dutch
cool.
Brothers on the radio.
Cool.
And it was a couple of volleyball players used to work there. I don't remember, but yeah, Dutch Brothers. That's a common job for college athletes. Like, it's
I just think it's because they're so flexible. They understand that you're a student athlete, and so they won't overwork you. But then they also like want to get you some hours so you can get some money. But they're really flexible with my schedule, and it helps so much that I'm not just like stuck to like a certain schedule. I can change it if I need to.
If you had to lose heating and air conditioning or the internet for the rest of your life, what would you give up?
I would probably pick air conditioning.
No, heating and air conditioning.
Oh, heating and air conditioning?
Yeah, like you can't control the temperature in your house at all. Or you have to lose the internet.
I'd probably get rid of the internet, honestly. There's so many other things to do out there without the internet.
There is.
Yeah.
The internet's kind of turned into like a double-edged sword. Like, it's awesome for knowledge and stuff, but then it's horrible for social interaction and kids nowadays are like there's a lot of kids that are socially inept because of the internet. It's crazy. You'll see it more as you teach. I mean, once you start teaching, you're going to be like, whoa, like some of these kids missed 2 years because of COVID of interaction. Plus, they're always on these things. So it's going to get tougher for teachers, man.
Oh, for sure. I agree. But I'm excited for the challenge. I think it'll be fun.
Awesome. So where do you want to go after you're done with the Masters? Like with your
ultimately, I want to end up back home in North Idaho, but that might not be realistic for the first couple of years just because it is so expensive to live up there. I'm kind of open to anything, honestly. My brother lives in South Carolina. He went to school over there, and I have visited him a couple times these last years, and I loved it. And it's relatively inexpensive to live, and I love it. It's beautiful. But I wouldn't want to live there like for the rest of my life. I think I would want to come home and start a family, get married, like teach up here. My dream job would be like teaching in Spokane because you make more, but then also living in Idaho. That'd be like
well, when you talk about expensive, my boy Max McCullough just moved up to Coeur d'Alene. He's from Post Falls. Yeah. And he told me how much him and Megan's apartment is.
No, it's
like,
so expensive.
Yeah, you're good. It's like it's crazy, and that's northern. I mean, granted, Coeur d'Alene is like kind of touristy and it's expensive, but still, it's like holy mackerel. I think my first apartment in college, I paid $250 a month.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I had a roommate, but $250 a month was the rent was $500.
I got pretty lucky here in LeGrand, but I don't think I'll get so lucky when I go somewhere else. You know,
not if you're going to be in Coeur d'Alene area. No way. Okay, so a couple more things, and we'll get you out of here. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
You do?
That's my favorite. Yeah. I just ate it actually the other day with Carson.
What do you like? So do you like the sweet and sour sauce that has the warm pineapple in it?
No.
So it's not. It's pineapple. You like pineapple, and you like it warm on pizza, but not warm in like other things. Like
no, I'm pretty picky, so I don't eat a whole lot.
What's your favorite food?
You can't go wrong with some mac and cheese.
Like homemade or in the box?
I'm probably homemade, but I'll eat either.
Yeah, it's got to be homemade. I mean, for me, the box. I mean, if you put like a pot of Kraft macaroni and cheese next to like a bowl of homemade macaroni and cheese, the difference is like, I mean, you can't even. It's not even measurable.
Yeah.
This weekend, senior obviously senior weekend, we talked about it. Athlete for athlete, it's going to probably be the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of at EOU.
Yeah,
A lot of
I
pressure.
mean, this year when we played C of I, we had a really big turnout, and I think when the weather's nice, kids want to come out. Like, people from the community want to come out and watch us because we are doing so good. I hope that like the athletes are still coming out because the weather's not supposed to be the best, but we really do love the support from them, and it does make us play better because we know like they're watching and they want us to win, and so we want to win even more to like, but I don't know. We haven't really had athletes for athletes in a long time, so I'm super excited.
So am I. Those games a couple weekends ago at home, that was brutal, man. That was cold.
Yeah.
Ooh. It was real cold. It's not going to be like that this weekend.
No, not the wind or the temperatures, but it might be just like partly cloudy.
That'll be fine. I think there's going to be a really good turnout. What's in your eyes? What's the team's goals for the rest of the season? Finishing this out, we got 34 wins. We're 7 away from the school record, the 99 team. We have 8 games left, 6 conference games and 2 non-cons. The CCC tournament, which we will definitely make, we're qualified for, and then hopefully the national tournament. What's the team's goal for this last stretch?
Well, we want to win conference because softball, anyone can beat anyone on any given day, and I think that when we make it to nationals, like we just want to compete. We want to like turn some heads, because we can. We're good enough to do it. I think that we're all pretty much on the same page as we want those goals, but we still have to focus on these next 2 weekends. And if we work hard, the outcomes are going to come, and then we're going to make it to nationals or whatever. We're going to compete at conference. And I don't know, I think that we're all just super excited. We're having fun. We're winning games. Like, softball's fun when you're winning games, and we're just super excited to be in the conference tournament and compete and possibly make it to nationals.
Absolutely. I told your coach just a little while ago, like, I would not want to be OIT right now. No, they're making a long trip and they're coming against a team that's hitting on all cylinders and hungry. And
yeah,
I think one of the biggest things we need to do is either punch the ticket by winning the conference or the tournament and not leaving it up to the voters, because who knows? I mean, last year C of I was like, they ended up 3rd, right? They were in the top 25 all year, and they were the 38th choice for the tournament. We don't want to leave that up to them.
No.
Let's just go out there and either win the conference or punch it with the tournament win and get in that way.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We can do it.
All right, last question, and then we're done.
Okay.
I asked this to pretty much everybody to end the show. I'm a senior in high school. I'm a girl.
Okay.
Me. I'm a softball player. Nicole sits me in front of you and says, Shelby Starr, recruit Davi to come play softball at EOU. What are you going to tell me?
I would just tell them that if they're looking for a school that has a small town feel, just like a tight community support, and I think that like them knowing that they're gonna get all this support from like other coaches, other athletes, community members, professors, because our professors are awesome here. Like they love us athletes and they treat us really good. And I think that them knowing that they're gonna have like that support and that it's fun. Like, we make it fun. Like, I'm best friends with some of my teammates, and all I want to do is hang out with them. Like, I see them at practice every single day, but I still want to hang out with them, And I think that them kind of just like understanding like what we go through at practice every day, like our practice schedules, and just knowing like exactly what it's gonna look like, they're gonna be able to find out if that's a good fit for them. And depending on where they live, like it's only a 4.5 hour drive from home. Like, it's not close enough to go home every single weekend, but it's not, it's not far enough away to like never go home. And right. I just think that, I don't know, I think this is a perfect school. It's a perfect fit for me, but I realize that's not the case for everyone. But just like, I would just talk up the school because there's so much to talk about. I can never say enough good things about the school, but I've never talked to a recruit except for one time. We did sign this pitcher for next year, and she's an education major.
Is she the lefty?
Yeah.
Oh, I watched her. She's a baller.
Yeah, she's awesome. But I was like,
Yeah.
dude, like this school, it has a great education department. Like if you get your degree from here in education, like you can go pretty far with it, you know. And
Yeah.
not that sold her or anything, but yeah, I don't know. She did sign.
Whatever it was that sold her, like,
Yeah.
I'm happy because I watched her throw in the gym and I was like, where's the paper? Like, why isn't she signing this right now?
Yeah, she threw gas.
That's awesome. Eastern Oregon, she's EOU senior softball player, Shelby Starr. Shelby, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to coming out and watching tomorrow. Let's go. Let's kick OIT's butts tomorrow. Let's do this. None of this is possible without Rockin' Sons. JB is completely involved in this community. He's a stand-up dude. He supports this show, and it's that circle I talk about. It's, you know, he helps support this show financially. You guys go support him. That's how it works. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto, east end of Adams in LeGrand. Eastern Oregon, that's all I got for you on a Thursday. I appreciate you. I'm Dodzy, and I'm out.